Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna talk about Lightfall. And I just wanted to share my thoughts, just straight up opinions about the expansion. And I also kind of wanted to just hear what you all had to say, what you think about this expansion overall as a whole. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We're gonna rip the Band-Aid right off, honestly. Let's talk about the bad. We're gonna talk about the bad. Oh boy, okay. Well, I feel like I may be preaching to the choir on this, and I could be completely wrong. If I'm wrong, then 100% let me know down in the comments. I need you to tell me how you're feeling about it. But man, this expansion was a major disappointment. Hype train was in full swing. Like, my expectations, honestly, an all-time high. We've got a new enemy that was just revealed to us, right? The pinnacle enemy being the Witness in the darkness that was revealed last year through Witch Queen. We've got a new darkness subclass. And we just came off of arguably the best story or the best narratively given campaign that Destiny has ever received, being the Witch Queen. And if Witch Queen is not the best campaign, then it's a close second to Forsaken. So the bar has been set extremely high, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing for Destiny, because we have had some really high highs and some really low lows in Destiny. And it's hard for me to say, but honestly, I think that Lightfall it is the most disappointing by far. So when we're talking about Lightfall, we have to compare it to the annual expansions, because at the end of the day, the base price on this expansion is $50. Now, if you were to go up and buy the season pass combo with it, it's gonna run you like $100+ right? So the expansions that we're talking about that equal this are Witch Queen, Beyond Light, Forsaken, and then you've got Vanilla Destiny 2. I mean, we could go into Destiny 1, but we're just gonna stay with Destiny 2. The bar with the Red War and Vanilla Destiny 2 was not set very high, but then we hit Forsaken, and honestly, we'll just consider Forsaken an anomaly because Bungie needed to knock this out of the park and hit a grand slam, right? Shadowkeep wasn't the greatest either, but man, the story was there. I felt like I was more attached to the story in Shadowkeep than I was with Lightfall. And that just doesn't make any sense to me, because Lightfall was supposed to be Infinity War, right? We have all this tension, and you reach the end and you lose, right? Because Lightfall and like the Gauntlet, and I'm throwing out all these words. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen the MCU, when Thanos gets all of the Infinity Stones and all of our heroes lose, right? That's literally what Lightfall was supposed to be. And technically, that's what happens. But I didn't feel any tension. I didn't feel the way I felt after the end of Witch Queen's campaign. I just felt like Lightfall was Strand the story. And I don't even know if I can say that, because Strand was supposed to be this unique mystical thing that we just find, right? And it's supposed to be like, what is this? We discovered it. It's something that has never existed before, and nobody has ever realized what it is before in the universe of Destiny. But in the campaign, it just exists there, kind of like Stasis did. And that just didn't make any sense to me at all. And another thing that's weird is, if we're the first ones to ever come across Strand, then why the freak do Callus's Cabal Centurions or whatever have Strand shields? They have Strand shields before we ever get Strand. So I'm just like, how? All right, plot hole. That doesn't even make sense if all of these Cabal enemies have a strand shield if they're not supposed to know what it is? You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't make sense to me. Bungie knocks it out of the park with the skyboxes, with the cinematics, with the music, with gameplay. It's so good. And lately they have been killing it on story. The story, like all the characters they brought in, they have meshed together so well with Keitel and everything that's going on with Callus and Osiris and Saint 14 and Mithrax and all of these characters. It's great because it's reaching this climax, and we're about to reach the end of this light versus darkness saga. The entire campaign, the entire story of Lightfall could have ceased to exist, right? Because at the very beginning, we are thrown into the witness is here. He is literally on the doorstep of Earth, and he's like fighting the Traveler. The Traveler and the witness are going head to head. And at the end of the campaign, the witness does the whole triangle thing and like goes into the Traveler or the other dimension, whatever. And I'm like, all right, you're telling me that they just stopped that battle and let us go through the entire 6-hour campaign, and then he did that or whatever? Like, did everything that we did on Neomuna happen while they were battling, or what? That just doesn't resonate or make sense to me. I feel like there was no value in that battle. I didn't feel anything. I mean, the only thing I felt was I don't want the Traveler to lose, because the Traveler's been a thing since Destiny existed, right? Bungie has been real into their space stuff lately. Like the last mission that we had this last year, the exotic mission, is space themed, and it's just so sick. Like, why in the world did we not have a space battle, or like have the first mission of Lightfall start out where we are in this battle, we are fighting, and then the witness shows up with all of the pyramids, and it's like, oh shoot, we are about to freaking die, you know, like something insane where it makes us feel like we got to do something about this. And just like the way the campaign started was weird. And I really didn't like how 90% of the missions was building up getting Strand and doing this whole Mr. Miyagi type stuff with Osiris. It was just weird. It was like, are we not trying to prioritize what's most important here? Because what's most important is trying to protect the light, I would think, from our greatest enemy being the witness. And it just didn't feel like that. So, off of that main tangent, we've got the Veil. And the Veil has been rumored for a long time in Destiny, right? What is it? Is it a race? Is it this? Is that? And when we finally hear about the Veil, it's like everybody knows what it is, but I could not understand what it is. I could not understand like what the Veil was. And then we finally get to the last mission where we go fight Callus, and we see the Veil, quote unquote Veil, or whatever it is. And it's like an entity, I guess, or it's supposed to be something like the Traveler, but I couldn't understand what it was supposed to be, or if it's like I don't know, is it another like light-based type thing, or is it what gave I think the Veil is what gave the Cloud Striders their abilities? I don't know. I just don't really know what it is. All I know is the Veil is the reason we lost, and I don't get that. I mean, the thing is, whenever Bife, the lore dad, right? The lore daddy for the Destiny community doesn't even know what the Veil is, that's a problem. And that doesn't even make sense to me. All of this just doesn't make sense because we were coming off of one of the best expansions ever, being Witch Queen, and now we're back to this place where I'm like, I don't even freaking know what is happening with this story. And I don't know like what is supposed to happen. It is so anticlimactic. The way I feel right now is the way I felt after I watched season 8 of Game of Thrones. If you've ever seen Game of Thrones, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, hopefully they can bring it around for the final shape. But man, I'm just very, very disappointed. I don't like talking negatively about Destiny because I freaking made a YouTube channel over this game. I love the series. I love this universe. I think it's so fun. But dude, the disappointment that I have with the story and the campaign, all-time low. All right, I want to transition into something else that really ticked me off. So Bungie has been doing this lately where they'll reintroduce assets that they've used, and I'll give it a pass. I get annoyed, but I'll give it a pass whenever it's like a seasonal expansion deal. But when they do that for an annual expansion, ooh, that ticks me off. I am not paying. I paid what, $100+ because I got the expensive version of this stupid expansion because I love this game and I want to have all the content. But even if you buy the $50 version, $50 for us to get reused assets on weapons, like, ooh, that ticks me off. Because every weapon that you can get from, what's his name, the Cloud Strider, is literally the same base weapon cosmetically as the moon weapons. And that is just so infuriating to me, dude. It just ticks me off. All they did was take off the moon like charms and give it a different color of paint, and there you have it. You have all of the weapons. Some of them have a strand element, but that's it. And I just do not get that, dude. It really just saddens me. All right, I know how much it takes to develop stuff, but if you're a AAA studio and you were asking people to pay you $50 minimum to get this expansion and loot, this is a looter shooter, right? The premise and the pinnacle of Destiny is to get loot. And if that loot looks exactly like loot you can get at a different location that's already been sold, oh, it just makes me mad, dude. It just makes me mad. Just make them look different. Just make the base archetype look different. If it looks different, then I'm gonna want it because I want to grind for something that looks cool and doesn't look like the same weapon that I got 2 years ago. Ugh. The last thing I have on my tangent is this entire expansion felt like it was just a step above a reused asset, right? All of it, because we've got the same boss being Callus. We've got a lot of the locations on Neo Muna look like locations on Europa, and as I said a moment ago, the weapons look very similar because they're the same base archetype. And all of this stuff, all of it combining together to be nothing. To be nothing, right? Because like at the end of this campaign, it's like nothing happened. There is no progress in this expansion. There's no progress. There's no value as far as I could feel or tell from this story that you get out of it, other than we gotta wait another year to find out what happens. So, I don't like talking negatively about Destiny, but dude, this hit me on another level. I was so disappointed. I'm sure I can't be the only one, but there's a lot of good about this expansion too. It's just heavily outshined by the bad. If you feel strongly as I do, I would love to hear it down in the comments. If you feel that I am 100% wrong, I would love to hear that too down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're feeling about Lightfall. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace and blessings.